Hello students, my name is B. Aditya. From today I am going to teach maths, physics and chemistry content for 11th and 12th class, and IIT JEE is going to be from physics collisions. So without wasting any time, let us start the topic. On the collisions, I will make two videos. In the first video we will discuss about the theory part. In the second video we will bring you many numericals from H.C. Verma and all. So without wasting any time, let us start the video. So the definition is, collisions are of three types in our syllabus. So the first type of collision is perfectly elastic collision, the second type is perfectly inelastic collision, and the third type is partially inelastic or partially elastic collision. So please copy this so that we will get into perfectly elastic collision. Okay, now let us start perfectly elastic collision. Okay, you might be familiar with the word elastic. Okay, I will show with a diagram, then I will explain. Suppose this is a body A which is moving with a speed u. Suppose this is a body B which is at rest. Now after collision, okay, let's say this is u1 and let's say this is u2. Okay, so we are assuming that u1 is greater than u2, or otherwise the first body will never be able to reach the second body and collide with it. So during the collision, during the collision some deformation occurs. Okay, during the collision some deformation occurs, at least at the microscopic level. Perfectly elastic collision means after collision and deformation they gain their shape again. They gain their original shape back. Okay, so let us suppose this is moving with v1 and v2. Okay, this is called perfectly elastic collision. Now one thing you have to remember, in any kind of collision, this is very important, please, in any type of collision the momentum remains conserved, the linear momentum remains conserved at any instant. Okay, now so initial momentum is conserved. Momentum is conserved. Okay, so momentum is conserved as in m1 u1 plus m2 u2. Let us suppose these are of masses m1 m2 m1 m2. Okay, m1 u1 plus m2 u2 is equal to m1 v1 plus m2 v2. Okay, this is the basic condition for any type of collision. This is very important. Please copy this, then we will get into the second derivation. Keep this aside and let us name this as equation 1. Now in perfectly elastic collision, you have to remember this, only in perfectly elastic collision kinetic energy initial is equal to kinetic energy final. Now remember this, that the kinetic energy is not conserved throughout the collision. It is only the initial kinetic energy is equal to final kinetic energy. Okay, you may get a theory bit. In a perfectly elastic collision, find delta Ke, which is kinetic energy final minus kinetic energy initial. So that is 0 for perfectly elastic collisions. You have to remember this. Now we shall derive another equation from this. So half m1 u1 square minus half m2 u2 square is equal to half. Okay, let us say these are masses of m1 m2. So half m1 v1 square minus half m2 v2 square. Okay, now half, you can take common and cancel. Now what I will do, I will send this term this side to this side, and I will send this term to this side. Okay, so I am taking common and writing directly. m1 into u1 square minus v1 square is equal to m2 into u2 square minus v2 square. I forgot to do something here, I am sorry. Now what we will do here, we will send this to this side and I will send this to this side. m1 into u1 minus v1 is equal to m2 into v2 minus u2. Okay, equation 3. Let us say this is equation 2. Now what I will do, I will divide equation 3 upon equation 2. When we divide this, we are not writing the derivation here because the video will become lengthy. 1 minus u2 is equal to v2 minus v1. Okay, we are not writing the derivation here. u1 minus u2 is equal to v2 minus v1. Only for perfectly elastic collision. This is very important. So u1 minus u2 is equal to v2 minus v1 is only applicable for perfectly elastic collision. We will see an example and then we will start the perfectly inelastic collision. Copy this. We will see an example. Let this be a mass of 2 kg moving with 3 meter per second, and let this be a mass of 8 kg moving with 1 meter per second. After collision, he is asking to he said these velocities are v1 and v2. He is asking to find v1 and v2. So you can try this example by pausing. Okay, so now I will solve this. I hope you have tried. Okay, now please pause and try. M1 I am solving. M1 u1 plus M2 u2 is equal to M1 v1 plus M2 v2. Okay, so 2 into 3 plus 8 into 1 is equal to 2v1 plus 8v2. Okay, this is 6 plus 8, 14. 14 is equal to 2v1 plus 8v2. v1 plus 4v2 is equal to 7. This is our equation 1. We will keep this aside. Now let us go to equation 2, which is v2 minus v1 is equal to u1 minus u2 is equal to 3 minus 1, 2. Okay, this is our equation 2. Now you can add both these equations. v1 will get cancelled. 5v2 is equal to 9. v2 is equal to 9 by 5. From there you can get the v1 also. Okay, please simplify this. Okay, so now let us move to perfectly inelastic collision. Okay, now you must have seen clay balls. Okay, so A, B, u1, u2. During collision there will be some deformation. Okay, A, B, and after collision they will not gain their original shape. The deformation will not they will not regain their original shape again. So this will move as a system with velocity vc. Okay, v1 minus v2 is equal to u2 minus u1 is not applicable for other type of collisions because here both bodies move with same velocity. So v1 is equal to v2. Now v2 minus v1 is 0. So u1 can't be equal to u2. If u1 is equal to u2, then they will never collide. They will keep on going up to infinity. So that statement is false here. Here only we have one statement, which is the conservation of linear momentum. I told you at the start of the lecture that conservation of linear momentum applies for each and every type of collision. So m1 u1 plus m2 u2 is equal to m1 plus m2 into v combined. This is the one and only equation which we get for perfectly inelastic collision. Okay, so you can copy this one. I will tell you an example. I will tell an example. Suppose this is a body of 2 kg moving with 5 meters per second. It collides another body of mass 8 kg. Okay, last time also we used it. This time we will use 7 kg moving with some 4 meters per second. After collision, both bodies have some deformation. 4 kg, 7 kg, velocity combined. Now he is asking us to find the velocity combined. This is a basic sum. Try this one, then I will explain the solution. Okay, I hope you have tried it. Now we will use conservation of linear momentum. I am writing directly m1 u1 10 plus m2 u2 28 is equal to m1 plus m2 9 velocity combined. 38 by 9 is equal to velocity combined equal to 4.2. Okay, so now we are going to discuss about partially inelastic collision. So please copy this example. Before starting partially inelastic collision, I need to introduce you a concept called coefficient of restitution. Okay, now we will study all the formulas and derivations of coefficient of restitution, then we will finally move on to partial inelastic collision, which is not a big topic. Okay, so coefficient of restitution. What is coefficient of restitution? So E is equal to velocity of separation minus velocity of approach. Velocity of separation is v2 minus v1, velocity of approach is u1 minus u2. Okay, so this is the coefficient of restitution, and one thing you have to always remember, E is equal to 1 for perfectly elastic collision and E is equal to 0 for perfectly inelastic collision. Okay, so for partially inelastic collision, E lies between 0 and 1. For partially collision, the first case which we are going to discuss is, there are two bodies, first one height h1 A, and second one height h2 B. So E is equal to v2 minus v1 upon u1 minus u2 is equal to 0 minus of minus root 2g h upon root 2gh minus 0. So this is h1, this is h2. Okay, so this and this get cancelled, squaring on both sides. h2 is equal to e square h1, our first equation. So please copy this one. The body of, okay, one thing you need to note down here, I'm not telling the derivation for this one because we don't want to make the video very lengthy. So hn is equal to e power 2n into h naught, and vn is equal to v power n into v naught. Okay, where h naught is the initial height from which it bounces. So this is a totally different case from this one. So this is e power n, e power n. Okay, so now let us suppose a ball is dropped from height h naught, a ball. Again it bounces up to h1, again it drops and bounces h2, so on up to hn. Okay, so now the total distance traveled, let it be h. From here to here, the total distance the ball traveled, let it be h. Now h is equal to h naught plus 2 into h1, because there is the same height. When you drop the ball, it rebounds up to h1 and again it falls from h1. So one displacement, second displacement, two displacements we have here. So 2h1, 2h2, so on up to 2hn. Okay, so okay, h naught plus 2 e square h naught plus 2 e power 4 h naught. Use this formula here, so on. Okay, if we take h naught common here, 1 plus 2 e square plus 2 e power 4 plus so on up to infinity, not infinity times. Okay, so this is h naught into 1 plus 2 into e square plus e power 4 plus so on up to, sum of infinite terms is a by 1 minus r square. Okay, this is geometric progression, apologies, geometric progression. Sum in s infinity is equal to A by 1 minus r square. So this is only when r is less than 1, and here e square is e lies between 0 and 1. Let us suppose e is 0.8, 8 by 10. So when you square it, it is 64 by 100, 0.64. Like that for decimal values, when you square it lies between 0 and 1 only. So h naught into 1 plus 2 into a 1 by 1 minus e square. Okay, h is equal to h naught into, when you simplify this you get as 1 plus e square upon 1 minus e square. Very important. Okay, final case is about time. So I have discussed the second case. In the same second case, the time taken, you have dropped the ball from here. The time taken to for the ball to travel from here to the nth position where it finally stops is, we call it as capital T. T is equal to T naught plus 2 T1 plus 2 T2 so on is equal to root 2 h naught by g plus 2 root 2 e square h1 by h naught by g plus 2 root 2 e power 4 h naught by g so on. Okay, now remember that formula, hn is equal to e power 2n into h naught. The same I have applied here. So if you take root 2 h naught by g common, it will be 1 plus 2 root e square plus 2 root e power 4 plus 2 root e power 6 so on is equal to root 2 h naught by g into 1 plus 2 into e plus e square plus e cube plus so on up to infinity. Okay, here now in the previous case we got the same equation, but there the common, this is also an GP, there the common ratio we got e plus e square plus e power 4, e power 8, e power 16. So there the common ratio was e square. Now here the common ratio will be e square, e cube, e power 4, e power 5, e power 6 so on up to e power n. So the common ratio will be e power 1. So S infinity is equal to 1 by 1 minus e power 1 here. Okay, so I am writing directly 2 into 1 by 1 minus e. The same way, if you simplify, you will get 2 h naught by g into 1 plus e upon 1 minus e. Okay, simplify this one. Partially elastic or inelastic, partially inelastic or a partially elastic collision. Now here I am not going to draw any diagrams because it will take so much time and already the video has become too lengthy. So now partially elastic or inelastic collision. Now here E is equal to V2 minus V1 upon U1 minus U2. Okay, conservation of linear momentum also we should apply, or he will ask to find the value of E. So these two conditions we have to apply. Actually I was going to discuss another partially elastic collision sum, but technical issues, so it is not possible. So we have to end the lecture here, but in the next lecture we will bring you many numericals and sums from H.C. Verma and all. So that is it for the day.